Hi everyone, it's Hannah Zimmerman, your friendly marketing and communications director at Historic Locust Grove, coming to you live from my dining room. Okay, this isn't live, it was previously recorded, but I am at home, and while we've been at home during this unprecedented time, we've been researching the answers to your Locust Grove pen pal questions. Today's question comes from Katie Snotter, who wrote in on Instagram, and today's answer comes from research done by our Visitor Services Manager, Jennifer Jansen. So thank you to Katie Snotter for your question, and thank you to Jennifer for the great research. Let's dive in. Katie Snotter asked, when Locust Grove was built and through the early years, was Blankenbaker Road already an established path? Was there a port at the river where Blankenbaker Lane meets River Road? How did visitors get to Locust Grove, and what was that final several miles like before arriving at the compound? First of all, both Jennifer and I think this is a great question, but here's what Jennifer's research turned up. Secondly, transportation in America is fascinating. It is astounding that we discuss people like George Rogers Clark traveling from Harrodsburg, Kentucky to Williamsburg, Virginia, or half a century later, Serena Cron going to California twice, just like it was a stroll to the neighbor's house. So, we don't actually know if there was a path to Locust Grove before the Crons lived there. There would certainly be one by the time the building of Locust Grove was finished in the mid-1790s. Most early maps that include Jefferson County show creeks and rivers, but very few roads. The Filson map of 1794 shows the Height home off a branch of Goose Creek and settlements around the defensive stations surrounding Beargrass Creek, but few others in the area except for right around the city center of Louisville. The Colliot map of 1796 shows a dozen buildings along the Ohio River between Beargrass Creek and Goose Creek, but not one of them is Locust Grove for sure. By 1858, there seems to have been a road from the river to Locust Grove, but none connecting the Louisville and Brownsboro Turnpike, what we call Brownsboro Road today. It's hard to imagine that there wasn't at least a good-sized path from Locust Grove, currently at 561 Blankenbaker Lane, to Robert Taylor's Springfield, just up the road closer to Brownsboro Road, currently on Apache Drive. That's where Zachary Taylor grew up. Then on to the Hare and Rudy homes on the other side of Brownsboro Lane Road. But the 1879 Beers and Langen map shows a road from River Road to the Cohan property. Possibly a misspelling of Cron. They spell Cohan, C-O-H-A-N, and Cron is spelled C-R-O-G-H-A-N. But this road doesn't go any farther beyond the Cohan property. River Road seems to have been pretty well traveled early on in Louisville's history, but it was probably terribly difficult to get a wheeled vehicle through during a spring flood. Otherwise, it may have been an interesting ride, providing an opportunity to see a variety of boats coming down the river, or possibly pausing to pass news with neighbors. But imagine the hours-long ride into Louisville in the winter. Remember, Locust Grove is roughly 6 miles from downtown Louisville. So a lot of what we know about how Blankenbaker Lane came to be is speculative, but we can guess that it joined a farm track from Brownsboro Road with a later track up from River Road. It's probably not in the exact same location as it was now in the Cron's day, because it was probably a little farther northeast up the river and took a more gradual path up the hill. Because the current Blankenbaker Lane route from the river would be very steep for horses and teams, as the half mile from River Road to Locust Grove is winding and almost all uphill. There was a landing, though, by the 19th century near where Blankenbaker Lane meets River Road currently. So there's your answer about a port. We do know that the origin of the road's name, though. It was named for grocer Abraham Blankenbaker, who purchased 300 acres of Locust Grove's property with his business partner, Jesse Chrysler, in 1846. They purchased it from St. George Cron, who was a grandson of William and Lucy Cron. We haven't been able to find any references to nearby paths and roads in the Cron's letters, but that doesn't mean they aren't there, and Jennifer is going to keep looking for answers to that question. In history, except when we purposely built a road's natural development would start usually from an animal track that people just widen and follow, the same way some of the trails in the woods at Locust Grove started as deer paths, then were widened by frequent human foot traffic. If rivers like the Ohio were the interstate roads of early America, creeks were likely natural landmarks to navigate by, if not up. We'll link some further reading below, including information about the Wilderness Road and the development of the National Road. The National Road was a road almost completely planned by man, and the Clarks and Crons would have used the National Road frequently when traveling to Pittsburgh, where William Cron Jr. lived, or Washington, D.C., where Anne Cron Jessup lived. Thank you, Jennifer, for researching this question, and to Katie Snodder for asking it. You can submit your own Locust Grove Pen Pal questions by commenting on this video or by emailing a staff member. You can find me, Hannah, at marketing@locustgrove.org. We hope you're well and in good spirits, and until next time, I remain your friendly neighborhood marketing director, Hannah Zimmerman.